Chasing him. I'm Captain America. Along with me is Bill Grumman. Do I sound weird? Anybody? Bill says I sound weird. Our mic's working. You talk.
Hi.
I think you sound good.
How's everybody doing?
Bill says I sound weird in his headset, so hopefully it's just for Bill and not for you guys too. Happy Wednesday.
Can somebody say something? You guys are like, you guys always comment so fast.
Hello.
Hello, Christian.
I'm just glad.
Maybe it's me. That's weird. Oh, okay, good. Thank God.
Yes, they sound weird. Fuck. Audio foul.
See, it's like he sounds like a robot, right? Like in a tin can, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I sound good. Is that what you guys are saying? How's my sweet and sultry voice right now? Chase sounds like a robot. Okay, good. Okay, good. It wasn't just me hearing that.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Wait,
Is that better or worse?
Sounds like you're going through your computer. It sounds better.
Okay, what about now?
Dude, I think it's your mic.
All right.
The computer was okay. I'll talk to everyone. You gonna head out and come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Sounds like Wally. Wally. Totally. Hi, everybody. You know what? Not this coming up weekend, but the weekend after that. It's going to be me and John and you guys hanging out doing the syndicate, which I am extremely excited about. And I'll tell you what, John has been taking a very, very professional approach to getting ready for syndicate. So I'm not expecting him to necessarily not say anything inappropriate or something that might get him pseudo canceled, because I don't think it'll happen. But I'm really excited about how much he's looking at the athletes and looking at the events and what his thoughts are going to be and everything. And no, I'm not going to dance for you. There's only one person I dance for. And no, it's not Chase. So there. Dude, that whole row thing. Oh God. I'm not a very good rower. I'm an okay rower, but I do not like doing that. And I don't know. I definitely couldn't beat Chase's, even about even the way, Chase not being in his normal shape. He's just so good at sitting in the suck like that and not changing. If you guys haven't watched his video, you got to go back and watch his video. The way that he held his pace and you watch his face, he doesn't look at all like there's any sort of pain involved until he gets off the rower and he's rolling around on the ground. That was the only time it looked like he was in some sort of pain. But and I didn't hear him make any sounds on any of the pulls until like the last, I don't know, 200 maybe, 150. Whereas I probably would have already started making that sound on the first 500. I'm kind of a noisy lifter anyway, but I don't know. Do I get nervous before commentating? I think I get excited about commentating. Okay, here we go. And the test is?
Better or worse?
There you go.
Oh, yeah?
He's back.
Golly. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. We were talking about your 2K row. which dude, you can say whatever you want to say about it, and the rolling around stuff at the end, all that. What I was telling everyone was, one, you didn't start making any sounds on any of your pulls till like the last 200, which blew my mind. I think I would have done that like after the first 250. There would have been on every single one. The other thing is, like, dude, I literally even zoomed in on your face. You don't show any expression when you're rowing.
No.
Like, you saying, like, it's a good thing you wrote about how you felt or whatever on there, because no one would have known at all on the row. It was like, and that was pure swimmer right there. Is all I saw.
Thanks.
It was crazy. That was great. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try it. I'm just like, I don't want to. You guys are all talking about. I'm like, Cool. Thanks for the percentages, Hiller. I'll take that, but I don't know if I want to do it.
Dude, all right. So like this is how it broke down. First of all, thank you. Yeah, the
And the
emotion
thumbnail was sick.
Did you like that?
It's so good.
So we were in a text group yesterday, and Andrew Hiller, I posted a picture of the text, just Andrew's text, and
Yeah.
it was his time. I'm assuming it was his time.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like, Chase, can you do this or something like that? But it's 6:45. 0.2. I said 0.6. Sorry, it's 0.2. And I was like, like if it was any faster, I probably wouldn't have tried, and any slower, I just would have said yes. But it was like that right time where I was like, I think I can. I just really don't want to try to get that.
Yeah.
Like I said this, I explained at the end of the video why I don't really do row time trials anymore. And I mask it because like I'm a decent rower. My row PRs are pretty good for CrossFit athletes.
Yeah. Great. What are you talking about? That would be one of your strengths, dude.
It was for sure a strength. And so like I think my fastest 500 is like a 120.
Give me a break.
I think I have it written in here.
Which is so weird because, like, you know, when they take all the power lifters and they put them on the rower and they just world record deadlift and world record, 100-meter row or the because they can just rip so fast. And that is not your strength.
No.
Posterior pulling is just not your thing. And yet
and pulling is not what I do.
But God, how you mask it on the rower, dude? I don't know where you make it up that much.
So I have not gone that hard in years. Like I thought I went hard. Remember when I like blew up on 24.1?
Yeah.
It was like that, but worse. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad.
It's in a monotonous bad too.
Yeah. 6'2". I'm not 230, Matt.
Jeez, easy.
215. Yeah. You also have to be like in good shape, which I'm not in great shape. So yeah, my 1K is a 256.1. My best 2K is like a 228.5 or something like that. So like I've got good rows. But I haven't done that in well over a decade.
I think that's actually cooler that you haven't done it in so long. And then
part of it was cool, but I was I legitimately was scared. Like I'm sitting there and I was hoping to fall apart sooner so I could just be like, I suck, guys. Sorry. I got 1,000 meters holding a 139. I'm like, God damn it.
You held the pace for 3 of them, dude. Like, yep, still on pace. Reluctantly still on pace.
Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, so Hiller put out the challenge. Some of his times he said other guys do when he's like, this guy being the high 650s. I'm like, no shot. Do you know how hard it is to row?
Totally.
So that was cool. I made a video. It's the first video I've actually ever made with like talking in the cuts. I thought the audio would be better. I guess next time I should wear like a lapel mic or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I put the video up.
It was fun.
Thank you.
It was fun to watch.
It was not fun. I woke up. So I did that about noon. No music. Noon, no music. I worked out earlier that morning. My daughter had a graduation pre-K. And then at noon, I just walked in the door, changed out of my jeans and button-up shirt, put on shirts, shoes, did like 200s to just kind of figure out what damper, and then just went for it. Like, no water, nothing.
Good. Hey, you know what? Good, dude.
I took a pain to the Bill Grundler.
Yes, you did. You just like set it clock. It's 3, 2, 1, and here we go. We'll just go. We'll deal with the shit afterwards.
I laid in my backyard for an hour. Looking in the sky. But like rolling, so looking in the sky, looking down in the grass, looking in the sky. Then I went inside and sat in a chair for like another 30 minutes. And then realized like I hadn't eaten yet. It's like 2:00. Bro. It was rough.
It was crazy.
I woke up this morning. I went to bed at 9:30 last night.
Wow.
Yeah. And I woke up this morning. I was like, I don't even want to work out. That messed me up so bad. I guess it's cool. I can still like do that every once in a while, but it'll be another 14 years before I try anything like that again.
You want to, what I will say is this, that is, that right there and this is what people need to understand, the whole thing about like what CrossFit really is. That is CrossFit, because you do all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can still do that if you need to. Not that you're going to get your best time, not that you're just not going to sit you on your ass for a while afterwards. But the thing is that you can do
Mhm.
any of the things that you want to do. We talk about where we're that full circle of CrossFit now.
Yeah.
What
Oh yeah.
in the beginning, and then where we are now. Like, I want to be able to. The whole thing that got me into CrossFit was I want to be able to do anything I want to do. I want to be able to just go. Yeah, I can go and do that. Might not be the best, but I can go and do that. I can go and do this. I can lift that thing. I can do that. You're like, yeah, I can hop on the rower and throw down a good 2K
It was cool to know I
without
could
any
still do it.
training for it.
Yeah, it was. I will admit, at the end, I don't think I've ever said this on camera once or even out loud, but like I was legitimately proud of myself
Fuck
because
yeah, damn.
I wanted to quit the whole time. The whole time.
It's funny. I wish at some point they're gonna make this too. I mean, they already have it like on that Black Mirror show and stuff like that. But like, you're listening, you got your earbuds in so that you can talk or whatever it is you want to be able to do, and you don't have any music.
Yeah.
But to have the little thing on the side so you can actually hear the internal voices.
Dude,
God, I
really
want that
loud.
so bad.
I've never time trialed anything or like benchmarked anything without music.
Yeah,
That's the first time I've ever done it.
dude. That's
What's up, Benny King?
now.
Hey, I saw him. I saw him in Oklahoma City
Oh, you did,
and Jose.
dude.
So,
I need to get one of his backpacks.
I miss
so
Jenny
bad.
though. She like walked by me, and I was going to the broadcast table.
Yeah.
She was going out, and I was just like, she didn't see me. I saw her. She was with her kids. I'm like, I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on for everybody there.
It was really cool. I will say, we said this a few times on the broadcast, that venue and setup was so old school regionals. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Like it was great. The community side was even cooler. Like CrossFit Malibu has that like bunker military half moon.
Yeah.
It was like that, but way bigger, but all wood.
Oh,
inside.
dang.
So all framed, just rich mahogany like that. Super cool, big warm up area. Then the main floor was just like old school regionals, man. It was really, really cool.
That's
I
awesome.
really liked the venue, the vendor village right on top of it, the moving in between the two venues, like it was right there, just like out the door, turn right. It was everything you could do was on site. So it was a really good setup.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, let's talk about the programming. Angelo did do awesome. That was fun working with him. I thought he did a good job.
I thought he did too. Was there anything that you needed to reel in with him at all, or kick him?
Yeah, the ending. The only thing, and this is just him being excited, which he should be, is like the very, very end when people are racing.
Yeah, shut
And
up.
they're
So
like,
the play-by-play can go.
They want to talk to, and like whatever, right? Like we're the first time we've ever worked together. It's the second time he's ever done it,
Yeah.
right? And I thought he did a very good job.
What was interesting, and I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a little bit of him when they were doing the teams, and it was him and Lauren, and then you guys doing it, you and him doing it, and what was great was you really were setting him up for good answers and good responses. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand with when they have the commentators. The commentators are supposed to be setting each other up to make it sound so much easier and more relaxed in the way it's supposed to be. So you were giving him so many good opportunities to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, like that's his, like he needs to know that, like, okay, I gave you all these cool things so you could put in all this good information. Now stand back so I can finish the race here, so I can call him in.
Right. And that's what I told him going in, because he never expressed that he was nervous. I forget, Angelo's only 25.
Dude, he's a kid, man. We were talking
about sectionals, because the last time there was a games season event in Oklahoma City was 2010 sectionals.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the last time.
Wow.
I don't think we ever had a regional there. And so he's like, oh, what was it like? He's like, how'd you do? I was like, well, I did okay.
I won, bitch.
I won every single event. that year. But he's like, what? I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm not some schlep. Like, I'm 17 years older than you, dude.
Now you know how I feel, Chase.
He's like, oh, I'm so old. I've been doing this for so long. I'm like, you're 25, bro. But I mean, he's also been competing for a long time too.
Yeah, totally.
At a high level with lots of training. But I really liked spending time with him. He was super fun. I'll say my favorite moment of the weekend in this, and then we'll get on with it. I'll stop talking about this. Yes, Bill will be at Syndicate.
Yeah, I will be there.
John Young.
Syndicate. I'm going to be there.
Number one. They just released the rosters.
Yeah.
So check out that. But yes, Bill and Savon Podcast and John Young will be manning the broadcast there. So, which is not this weekend.
No, dude, I know. Dude, so dumb.
But it's next weekend.
So much shit going on in this month. And then I was like, wait, I'm going next weekend. Wait a minute. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man. Yeah, 2 weekends.
Oh, this was cool. Jose's right that we got to broadcast the RX finale. That was cool. Because it was just me, Jeremy, and Adrian Conway for the dudes, and me, Jeremy, and Jacob Hetner for the girls. And we just, we covered it. We had some fun, and it gave them some love, which is everything Jeremy wants. The Fittest Experience has never actually done a legitimate broadcast before. First time in 17, going on 18 years. It's the oldest event in the world, except for the CrossFit Games. All right, Jeremy went to the CrossFit Games in 2007, started Fittest Games in 2008. 1A, and then that's number 2.
Isn't that wild?
It's huge. It's huge. So that was super fun. Oh, Travis.
that's
See you there.
And then also
First match of grid is this. Oh, that's right.
That's right, John. Go get him, dude.
Go get him, John. Go get him, John. All right, so this is the moment of the weekend. I kind of want to save this for
You want to save it for the event?
I was gonna save it because I want to do a Mount Rush moments of like the semifinals in-person qualifier season. But maybe I'll just say it now. I'll just say it.
You can always bring it back up again.
Yeah. So I took Angela to dinner the first night just to get to know each other a little bit more. We've never actually talked in person, and we didn't even talk about broadcast stuff. Like only in text. I was like, bro, I'll take care of you. You just do you. Don't stress. Like if you fail, it's because I failed you. Just chill. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to get to know him. Like kind of, it's like having a dance partner. Right? Totally. You got to know which way.
Yeah.
Like the coolest thing about working with you is like, I don't know if I look at you once during the broadcast, unless we see something funny. Ever. I'm looking at my screen. You're looking at your screen. I feel when you should talk, when I should. And that's the dance.
Yeah.
And so just getting to know him on a personal level just was, John's coming on. John, you're not allowed to come on and just like shit all over this thing for an hour.
That event was trash.
But yeah, we'd love to have you. So we the second night we went to dinner. We went to dinner with Lauren Smith, Lauren Khalil, Dom from Mayhem, which I've never met before, Angelo, and then Nate Ackerman.
That's a big group, dude.
We went to Cattleman's Steakhouse.
Okay.
And it's like it's 100 years old this year.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just a old school cowboy diner, and the beef they put on the table was in the stockyard earlier that morning.
That is awesome.
Their own cows. I was like, hell yeah. And so we did that. And so the waitress comes to the table. Is like, would you guys like any appetizers? We have potato skins and lamb fries. And I was like, we'll have lamb fries and potato skins. And Khalil's like, what is that? I was like, I'll tell you after you eat it. I'm like, all right.
Don't worry about it.
Does anybody know what lamb fries are? Do you know what lamb fries are?
Nope.
Okay. So
I'm California, dude. Come on now.
Right. All right. Yeah, true. So it's these little, when it comes out, it looks like fried pickles. And then when you eat it, it's a very it's like a consistency of veal, you could say. Okay. So everybody tried it. Everybody had it. Everybody loved it. They're like, what is this? I was like, it's fried lamb testicles.
Oh, okay.
Lauren Smith was so mad at me.
Really?
Not like actually.
But like,
about as mad as you can get without actively being.
No, I got you. But like, it's like you didn't not like it. So what are you worried about?
He's like, I liked that, and now I'm so mad. I was like, but you liked it. Like, what's the big deal?
Well, I've done like Rocky Mountain oysters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
before.
so
I've
like
done that
Rocky
stuff.
Mountain oysters, everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
They're like lamb fries. I was
Right.
like, I know exactly what that is. Yes, order. Now, to the girls' credit, they didn't make me tell them, and they just ate it. But I don't think in their wildest dreams that's what they thought was coming to the table. It was great. So yeah, I made the girls eat balls.
Eat balls, ladies.
All right, let's do this. Programming, analyzing. We got an hour, a little over. 7 events, 7 scored events. We have our deduction system. If you guys have been with us, I hope you guys like the new scoring system. We love it. It's getting better every time. It creates more discussion, more back and forth. We don't agree on everything, but we do compromise in the middle whenever we need to. And I think that discussion, just getting to that point, is a beautiful addition to this programming thing that we've done. By the way, I got a notification that we just hit 5 years on YouTube.
Dang. 5?
2 days ago. 5. So the podcast is 5 years in March, but we didn't go on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. We just did. We recorded it and just put it out.
And then we recorded and put it out. And then Savon basically bullied us into going live, which I was like, absolutely not. Now I can't imagine doing any other way.
Seriously.
We don't need a giant post-production thing. I like Mayhem's podcast a lot. I really do, that format. I just don't have the capacity to do that. And if I did, it'd just be terrible.
Yeah, I just I think you get lost in all the editing part afterwards.
Mhm.
It's just so nice to be able to go, let's just get it out.
Yeah,
and it's real and it's authentic and it's
Right.
happening. You guys are all
you
here
guys would have
watching.
never gotten the if you guys don't want to be here, then just get the fuck out of my community. You would have never got that. I was like, I should probably reel that in a little bit. So you guys get the
edit.
But obviously too is like, without you guys watching and listening right now, we'd just be two guys talking into the ether. We'd still be doing it, but you guys make it way more fun.
Totally.
So thank you guys. So, all right, we start off with 10.0, and then every event we deduct or leave alone, depending on the severity of the programming miss. Isolated only in those events, which is still our hardest task to do. True. And then at the end, we'll do an overall secondary review of how the events work together. Were there any biases, whether it's time domains, movement patterns, weights, gymnastics, all that kind of a thing. So you guys get it. Oh, right before.
Look at that.
Son of a gun. Well, I don't want to give John that much. I don't want to give you that much.
No, I like that one. Let's rock with that one.
Yeah, that is more your vibe. Yeah. Thank God John Young is here with no shirt to boot.
Woo!
What's up,
Repping that
dude?
dad strength right now.
Yeah, dude, I've had a busy week.
Either that
Hey,
or he
did
got
you
thrown
really-
up on, one of the two.
Did you really row a 653 yesterday?
2 days ago.
I think that's more impressive than what I did.
I disagree completely.
I don't know, man.
That's what's funny is that I'm pretty sure it tied my PR, which sucks.
Really?
Yeah, like that's the best I rode. But yeah, I think I'm the heaviest I've ever been right now. I was
Right, that's what I'm saying.
pulling a 133 at the end of it.
Damn.
Like
Wow.
I was like,
I was pulling a 150, bro.
well, we did it a little differently, Jay.
Yeah, yours was at the beginning, his
like,
was at the end. Yeah.
I was 143 to 145
Mhm.
for about 1,200 meters. And then I was 145 to 150 for 300 meters.
Okay.
And then at the 1,500 meter mark, I just went down like 3 seconds every time at 200 meters or 250.
Yeah.
Let it go.
That's-
And that's how I always do the 2K because I always fade. I cannot hold it for, you know, 6.5 minutes. I cannot hold that pace. I always have an amazing kick if I give myself
Yeah.
the ability to do it. And that's just you know, different bodies work different ways, you know,
Yeah.
and that's all how I've always done like my best times. But it ended up tying, like I thought for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like
Yeah.
still got it. And then no, I'm just no. I just think it's a power output thing, and I got a lot of power right now.
Hey man,
I
I still
that's
think it's
awesome.
very impressive.
Yeah,
I
that
was
is awesome.
I was down for the count. Like it was bad. I laid down for a while.
Right. The words that came out of my mouth that I didn't put on YouTube would have got me banned from YouTube.
I'm
All
watching
right,
you
John.
come out at a 137 or whatever you were holding. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool, man.
I mean, I didn't hold it that long, but
3 of them.
yeah, that's true.
Jeez.
Yeah, but if you guys want to go see it, go check out the video after you guys watch our entire show today. All right, John, we're gonna go event by event, and then we'll go whole big picture.
Okay.
All right. John's gonna.
Are you gonna be like, I did this event, so I have to be super nice about it?
No, I
Okay.
will be. Yeah, we
haven't done that with any. We haven't done that with
we
any.
haven't done that with any of them.
All
We'll be
right.
fair. I just know you got a lot of 1.0s in your back pocket that you're just ready to drop on the programming side.
I think the competition ran great. I think the commentary was great. I think having Hepner up there is great. You know, he's proud of his girl. His girl's doing her thing. You know, that's awesome. You know, DeChico's awesome. I didn't think Lauren was bad.
She did a good job.
Yeah. You know, I have nothing
has
bad to
improved.
say about anything except the program.
All right.
So,
That's why John's here. So y'all better buckle up. Buckle. Tell your friends we need that 95 to be more like 195.
like, I think it's better than Wadland, even if the programming was worse.
Okay. Yes.
Is that fair?
That's fair. That's fair. So I think at the end of the year, at the end of the season, the qualifying season, we might rank the semifinals. They'll all be ranked numerically, but we could also, depending on, we won't be straight numbers, but.
And also, and I think we can, and I feel like it's a bit of a cop out, but it's still true. I think who should have gone did go.
Fair.
Who should have gotten their ticket did get their ticket.
Yes.
But you know, just maybe not in the ways that is, you know, theoretically a well balanced would have happened.
So it's funny is that I only on one event did I say Kirkstetter. I just said it for the longest event of the weekend, time wise. I was actively trying to say it the way I thought it was supposed to be said because I know that's been a Kirkstetter thing. And for some reason in my head, I was like, oh, it's not that and it's that. And I hard K'd her that whole event. So, I did.
Did Jacob come up and say, hey, that's not how you say it, man?
No. Just the internet. But hey, it's like I've said it right prior to that, but I said it wrong for that one event, but I fixed it the next day.
There you go. You
Yeah.
handled it. You
But yeah.
handled it.
That was my bad. Y'all can say it all you want. Doesn't bother me. You're right. So what am I supposed to say? All right. Event 1. The Elite Indie. My wife's like, they named the event Elite Indie. I was like, no, it's at the top left. She's like, oh, 10-5. I'm like, okay, cool. Basically a chipper, but it's one of those chippers where it's like a full and then half of the original kind of chipper. They did this twice actually this weekend. Thank you, Jessica. I've been waiting for that. 100 wall ball shots, 50 toes to bar, 50 cal row, 50 dumbbell box step overs, then half all that all the way through. 16 to 18 minutes combined with the men and women, so a bit on the longer side, just on the cusp of longer, a high volume event. You're either using lightweight or just body weight, and it has everything in here, monostructural gymnastics and weightlifting. When you look at kind of the movement patterns in that, it's just conditioning. The thing that I heard the most noise about coming into this whole event was that there was so much squatting at the TFX Invitational, which I thought was funny because the same thing some people said about Mayhem Classic. And then when you backtracked it, you're like, yeah, there was squatting, but there wasn't an overuse of that. I feel like that's the same thing here. People just need to like take a step back and realize what kind of squatting was done, regardless of the volume or how many times we did it. Because it's Karen with a 20-pound med ball. Yes, box step overs, but we all agree that that's not squatting. It's just leg fatigue.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you feel it in the legs, but you probably feel it in your low back and arms more, especially when you're holding the dumbbells. Equipment used, 5 different things off the bat. Now, isolated by itself, we'll take a look at this. Okay? Bless you. Bless you. Little baby sneezing. The cutest.
Abby, I'm gonna need you to cool it.
Hey man,
Dad's trying to work right now. I'm
I'll
gonna need you
take
to
baby
quiet it
sneezing
down.
over that damn yappy dog of yours any day.
He's over here too. So.
All right, isolated in it, Bill. What do you got?
Just the event itself, I think
The event itself.
I think is fine. I think it is. I think it's rather open-esque. I don't think it's highly demanding necessarily. But as far as what it is, I like the fact that it's a decent volume event. I like the fact that, I mean, if you're going to put wall balls in it, make it actually be a wall ball thing where you're actually doing carrying. Like, fine, okay, little tip to the hat of a a named workout. That's fine. I really don't have a whole lot of issue with it. I think the issue will come into, okay, what does it do when it's compared with all the other things? But for this one, I don't have a problem with it.
Hey,
I think it's a little bit on the lightish side.
so Matt Brady, I recognize his name from the athletes. I wasn't sure if this was the same Matt Brady. But if that's you, dude, I remember watching you. My legs are still sore. I'm not saying your legs won't be sore.
Right.
My legs would be sore after this only event. For me,
again, by itself,
I have, and Beck just mentioned this, is that the box height for step ups is fantastic. Having it all at 20 inches because you're using weight between men and women, but the wall balls are not.
Yeah, that's fine. I
I
totally
think we
forgot
just
about
gotta
that.
eat. That's what it's always gonna be. We
dude.
don't agree with it, but
No.
Yeah, but every once in a while they do it. Like even the games have done it.
The
I
thing
think
is,
the games
it's
are
the
the only people who have
qualifier
done
for the games. It shouldn't be.
Wadapalooza does it every once in a while.
I understand, Bill. I understand, but it's just like you just.
They're
see
never
going to
do 9 feet at the games, right?
I think they should use 50-pound wall balls to 9 feet and 40-pound wall balls to 9 feet for the women, and then just do like a different stimulus we've never really thought about.
That'd be cool.
That's fine too. But just what you said, the box
still at 9
or the
feet.
height is the same.
Yeah.
That's that's the thing. So
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not.
I did actually. I totally forgot about that when we were talking about it. I mean, I just assumed it was the 10, and I didn't see the 9 right there. But that would be a 0.1 for that.
Yeah.
Just because
Mine's a
but
0.1
basically
for
it's just that.
consistency.
But as far as what it is, it's fine.
John, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree completely. I'm not a big fan of like when we're getting people to the games that your limiter in a long endurance event is a weightlifting movement. Like this is a thing. Like if I was in a competition, I'm like, thank God, like I'm about to have, I'm going to be really good or higher than I should be. Because I'm going to be really good at the hardest part of this workout. Like the crux of the workout lends itself to a stronger person or just stronger grip, bigger person. Right. And I'm not a fan of like your long endurance-y workout to like that's the crux of the workout. Obviously I agree with you guys with the wall ball. I still think the event by itself would be a 0.1. I don't disagree at all. That's just like an internal bias that I have. You know, you can do what you want with the event. I remember with the 2017 regionals, they had an event with dumbbell box step overs with the 70s.
Yeah.
And it took everybody out, man.
Totally.
It was
that chipper was
bloodbath. And it was awesome. Right. And freaking like Street Horner was one of the top 3 guys. You know, he's not exactly a strong guy, but so it doesn't not necessarily makes it the case, but for this particular workout, that's the crux of the workout.
Okay, so then let me ask you, being that we only have now, especially, we have the open, we have the semi, we have the games. Is this enough of an event? And this is what I meant by, like, I don't have a problem with it, but it just seems a little open-esque. Is it too light for the athletes? I mean, if we'd already tested the open style, is this enough? This one event, is it enough, or should we have one of these events, like an open style event in the semis?
I would say that if if you wanted the dumbbells box step overs to be the crux of the workout, and they're going to be just because they take the longest and who can hold on to the dumbbells the longest, then they should be 70s and 50s, especially if the box is a 20-inch for everybody.
Yeah.
But then that would make it even more of a weightlifting.
Correct, but it already is. Like then you're half-hearted one direction. And this is to get to the games. If it's already going to be weightlifting oriented, like then you might as well build some strategy into it. Then like you could blow people up, and then the smarter athlete would end up like getting ahead of people just because they paced it correctly. Because then it becomes like grip fatigue, and can you manage that, right?
Yeah.
Which is what the workout was. It's just 50s or so, like Bill said, in the 20-inch box, you can just kind of get through it quickly enough where it doesn't even have that much of an effect on you. But the strength athlete always has a little bit of an advantage. This way you can F people up a little bit. You know what I mean? And it builds more of a recovery factor in the next workouts. I mean, I know Matt was hurting, but with 70s, it'd be even more of an ability thing. And I'm not a fan of it, Chase, but that's already what it was.
I get it.
But then you might as well make it games-esque, right? Like Bill said, I mean, we did it in 2017 regionals.
Right. And that's
why are we
I
doing
think about
50s and
that
35s now?
Right.
Are we less fit now? I don't think so.
And they had 24 inches for the men.
You know, right. Correct. And then they did lunges after that.
Well, then, okay. Then with all that, is this only still a 0.1?
No, because I think we're just manipulating the event, thinking we don't have other strength later, which we clearly do.
Well, we'll have to see, I guess, when you look at the whole comparison.
True.
Does it fit as a games qualifier and event, or did it work with what we had?
Yeah.
So,
all right. I like it. Next one. Isabel, we've seen it. We know
Perfect.
It is.
Perfect. Great job.
It doesn't change. I should say none. Let's see. None. All right. Now we'll go to this. So that was day one. Day two. This is we'll do 1.0 first, then we'll do 2.0 because these are two separate scored events, 100 points each. All right. So Devil Dog 1.0, 6 legless rope climbs or 4, 12 shoulder overhead at 205 and 135, and then half that. So another full half chipper, but it is a dead sprint of legless and shoulder overhead. Now, I will add context to this event is that the rig that they were sent is the regional rig, right? So we're all used to going to 15 feet. You go up and you hit the top where the top plates would be. I guess there's a new rule set by Rogue is they won't let you do that anymore. So you can only go to the bottom of the rope. So where the rope is anchored, the knot, and then the bottom of the knot, that is where they will let you touch on, I don't want to say for everything, but I think just for rope climbs from now on. So what it did is it was like 13 and a half feet instead of 15. I think you muted yourself.
It takes 2 pulls out of it.
Yeah, especially legless. Here, talk again, Bill.
How about now? Am I good?
There you
go. Okay. Yeah, significantly lowered that.
Right. And so
it changed. I think it changed the event.
It did.
Even equivalent of 4 and 2, like of real ones.
Could be.
Yeah.
Like it ceased to make it a legless rope climb event.
When someone is jumping up and doing 3 arm pulls to touch.
Yeah.
I mean, I was blown away. And even watching Olivia, like Olivia's rope climbs were not good, but she moved up so fast because rope was so short. Like, I mean, like she barely pulled her legs.
What's the hardest 2 pulls of the whole legless is the last 2 at the top.
Yeah.
Those are the parts where you're like, I'm not sure. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I was looking at, I was actually sitting with Bryce. So Bryce Collier programmed this out of Coda.
Yeah.
And he's like, damn it. Like he knew that height changed. Now, other things could have changed, I think, but that height change drastically changed how that basically went. But it was just pulling. No one was really like if you're failing shoulder over head at that weight, you just weren't made to do that. Like me and Bill, when we were previewing the programming, we're like, okay, maybe the intensity is going to help keep the complexity of this. You're going to have to go so hard and so fast, like you're going to fail reps overhead because of that. But seated.
And where you can still use your legs, you just have to start seated.
Yeah, even starting seated and say finishing, I don't know. But yeah, starting seated would have been fine.
On the second one, I'm saying, not.
In the second one. Yeah, we're not on the second one yet. We're just doing the first one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Looking at this, because it goes 6'12", 3'6". I think it's a miss when you watch it. Like this is just a pure sprint. No one was really challenged too much on it. I don't know if it's like, hey, did we need more? I think the weight was fine if the legless did what it was designed to do. Or just adding one more little set at the end.
Well, I mean, to Colton's point, I think doing it seated would have had that effect.
Oh, for sure.
I think it would have been very appropriate seated. The workout would have been probably twice as long. And then it would have let the actual good legless rope climbers like have even a huge advantage.
Right.
Watching people go unbroken on the barbell, go straight to the rope and right into it with zero even
reckless abandon.
Because they didn't even look tired. Like it looked like a warm up, and that's what that shorter rope. It just took so much out. It's crazy. Like if you were to do so like at the games when they would do the 20-foot rope, and you'd even have that big mat. So it ends up being like 18 feet or whatever the height of going up to Zeus. Like the difference one or two pulls makes into your rope climb and one or two pulls out of your rope climb, it either like adds a whole extra rope climb rep,
right,
or it just completely cuts the one in half. I was shocked watching everybody go, and I was actually really bummed about it because it totally changed the work. It took it all. It took everything out.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if the barbell needed to be heavier. I think it didn't do what they thought it was going to do.
The barbell wasn't
because the legless was so easy.
Right.
It would have made a difference. Like when you're blown, then go do some shoulder to overhead. You're just going to be more blown. And I wouldn't even hate like 12 in the beginning and then legless rope climb and then 8 in the middle and then 3 and then 6 at the end.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Like you juice yourself a little bit before you have to go do the legless rope climbs. But yeah, I mean, I'm with Colton. I think seated fixes everything. I think it's a great event with seated, but how it was, it's just like it's a loss of an event. It literally feels like this event was meaningless. And for that reason, for me, it's a 1 deduction. But I will defer to you guys because I know we're going to have a lot more ones. But when you have an event and you're like, well, that event just kind of like nothing happened. Like everybody could just sprint it and do it. Like it didn't affect anybody. For a legless rope climb event, which is always a big
very
swing
specific
event, for that to be the event that's like, man, everybody just kind of was able to sprint that. I missed the ball on that. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
That's like a deficit handstand push-up event, and everybody's just able to do it. Like that's not supposed to happen.
Because it was a 1-inch deficit.
Right.
Right.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. And so I think you're right. Because this is like this. Yes, there was an effect of this event because of scoring, but not like a compounding effect of people. Like they're just running through this. I'm curious is like, okay, do I give them a full 1 because they didn't make it 13.5? Somebody else did. Or would it still be a full 1?
Well, I mean, I think it's so easy for in the moment, have like an athlete briefing. Be like, hey guys, little surprise for y'all. It's going to be seated legless.
Yeah, well, I mean, ask Colton because he was on the demo team last year in that 50s chipper with the rope climbs. He did that workout. I want to say like 3 or 4 times in a day. And it went from legless to
At the
seated legless.
games.
At the games,
Right.
the day before. They tried it 6, 7 different ways.
Like, it's not hard to make those adjustments. You don't just stick to what, you know.
Oh, I think you just talked me into it, Bill. And you refused before we.
No, I agree. I mean, the hard part is that you want to do the programming as it's written, but the thing is that it's not what was written. If it's what was written, I wouldn't have the problem with it. The problem is that it wasn't that.
All right.
You know, so I know the 1.0 sounds harsh, but the way that it ended up,
No, you guys are right.
the way that it went, it was basically a worthless event because it didn't do anything but just threw some points out there. And there wasn't a race. There really wasn't a race with it.
I'd love to have Colton on. So
And
if we
I'm
have the
not.
time.
Yeah. Colton's welcome on. You want me to send him a link every time?
Fine by me. Fine by me.
We and
Hey,
Yeah,
we're only at 2.
better.
We're only event at 2 right now, and it's
I'm not
11:20 right now. Is all I'm
not
saying.
against worthless events. Like, I think like a sprint, like when they have sprints at the games,
Right.
it's important. It needs to be tested.
Right.
But like, you just run as fast as you can. Like, it's kind of like this is just who people are, right? Like, it's nobody's hurting after that. It's not like
you're right.
those have their place. This is not that workout.
Right.
No,
Like
you're
the,
right.
The track
legless
event.
It should have It should have been the legless event.
Mhm.
It was not the legless event.
I mean, the Friday Night Lights last year, it was a mile time trial, which is a short effort with a break into a sprint on the field, but that was executed really well. Also, the order almost would have been better if you just flipped these.
That
No,
definitely
I
would
mean,
have.
you can't have them 200 points.
Well, I'm not saying that right now. That'll be at the end.
Right.
Right? So we're on 2.0, but I'm just saying, would a simple fix have been just flip it? If you could change nothing else.
It would have made. It would have done a little bit for. It would have done a little bit more for the legless. But yeah,
I think it would have done more than we think.
Or maybe for the girls. I don't, dude, as fast as they went, dude, no. I don't think it would. I don't think it would be as much as you'd think.
I mean, okay. All right. Part 2, 4 rounds for time, 3 rope climbs with legs, 2015, 10-5 thrusters at 115 and 75. Very Tommy V-esque of an event. Rope climbs and thrusters at 115. Is it 85 in Tommy V though? I think.
I thought Tommy V was 115.
No, I saw
115 and 85.
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe it's 85.
85.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and they've programmed that at regionals. It was a great event. It was Hero Friday because they coupled that with Randy on the first event. When was that? 2015?
2015.
Miss China Cho.
Yep.
John Cho. That's when we all found out that she was really
she's good at rope climbs.
That girl was better than everybody else.
Yeah, like, oh, damn. And then what year was it when we found out that Alethea Boone was even better at legless rope climbs?
Oh, dude. That might have
Probably after she tore her Achilles, and that's all she did for a year. All right. Now, this one by itself for a short endeavor. We saw something similar to this at the Mayhem Classic with dumbbells, but it was 25, 2015, 10-5. And then what was it? 5-4-3-2 legless rope climbs or 6-5-4? What was it?
No, 5-4-3-2 and then 4-3-2-1 for the girls.
Okay. So we saw something like this similar, not with regular, and this is a Fran-like endeavor, squat, press, pull, the rope. Like you just had to go hard. You had to go unbroken. You had to be quick. Like for a short event, I mean, honestly, if this was what the event was without the first part, would you guys even care right now?
I think it would have still been a worthless event.
Really? I don't think it would have been as worthless because I don't see
Just
the rope
3
climbs.
rope climbs?
12 total at race.
It's where you're looking at race pace.
13-foot rope.
They didn't.
I understand.
Rope,
But that's what it is, though. I would have the same issues that I had with the first one.
I just don't see the regular rope climb being, even though it's a shorter rope, like I get it. Like to me, you're just doing a pulling piece. Whereas the Legos rope, like the Legos was supposed to be something. A regular rope climb.
All right. What if they did this event with legless?
then I think that would be a great event.
Okay.
That's basically what Mayhem was.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
was.
like 3 legless every single time.
Yeah.
But again, I'm still in favor of starting seated. That event by itself would be a great event.
So what do you give here?
The problem is it's hard to look at this one without the first one because you're giving 200 points for testing the same thing. And that is
Which we'll do at the end.
really, really bad.
We'll do it at the end.
But just that, but just a segment, just that piece.
Just this piece.
Oh man, I don't know. I get what you're saying with what about just this piece?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with this piece.
No, like I don't. Yeah, if you look at it just by itself, I think it's easy.
So is Fran.
You don't just do Fran to go to the games.
This isn't Fran. So
I think this is
so is
better. I
Fran,
think this is
though.
better than part one.
it's way better than testing Fran. But it's Fran like.
Do you think it's better than part one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So like there's still the mess up of the rope climbs. Like if we had a 0.5 would be a mistake in the weights, right? Isn't that what 0.5s used to be? Yeah.
I'll put it like if this was just the pulling event and like if we're just looking at like this was the rope climb event, I think you guys would say this was a pretty easy rope climb event. Tommy V's 21 rope climbs
Right.
to actual height. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago, 10 years ago. And now this event by itself is easier.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah.
it'd be
Coming off of the pre-one.
and
right,
like
a little bit
you
of
know,
a
I'll
combo.
use what Bill said. We're sending people to the games.
I think an extra round with 25 would have been better.
I would have
Yeah.
been. I think that's the fix
Right.
too. Just by this event alone, I agree with you. I think that
so
would be great.
So is it a 1 point or is it a 0.5?
I don't think it's a 1
don't even think
point.
it's a
I don't think it's a
0.5.
1 point at all. I'm in between 0.1 and 0.5 right now. But if it's just easy, I feel like that's a 0.1, right? That's not
I would say,
0.5 is
yeah.
like something is really, really wrong.
You could say like under programmed, but
Yeah.
not a 0.5. That's not a 0.5.
I'm
Because
with you. I'm with
even
you.
though we're isolating this wasn't isolated in and of itself, even though it was given 100 points.
I'm with you, Chase.
All right. Bill, last.
So you guys are going 0.1 on this?
Yeah.
I just think that's a massive drop from a 0.1 on or a 1.0 on the first part to
Because the first one is not supposed to be there. Like we killed an event.
Well, I agree. I just think this one was like it was a foul tip. You know what I mean? It wasn't a full strike, but it was like a foul tip. I just think that 0.1 just seemed a little bit low.
Well,
on
foul
that.
tip means
is
you
your
connected,
reasoning?
right?
What is
Huh?
your reasoning for a 0.5?
Because I think that because it is under programmed, like you said,
Yeah.
basically under programmed. And if we are looking at I don't know. I'm leaning more toward like it's. You're right. It's not a straight up 0.5, but I just a 0.1 is seems a little light for me. But I can go 0.1.
I mean, we did eviscerate an entire event. So.
No. I know. But I'm trying to look at just this.
No,
one.
I get it.
Trying
It
to see
is
just
a
this
little
one.
tweener. I think it's closer to a 0.1 than it is a.
Okay. I'm
I'm where
I'll
you
go
are,
0.1.
Bill. I'm where you are, but I feel like Chase has been nice with
all right.
badness. So like you see what I'm saying?
I got you. That's what I mean. Like I was kind of riding in the middle there too. So it's like, well, where does it lay? I'm fine with the 0.1. That's fine.
Okay.
I think
Now-
it'll all come out in the mix when we put them all together anyway.
Now this one, Cyclone, 40 fat rope singles, 7 burpee box get overs anyhow, and then max cals on the Echo bike. 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, till infinity and beyond. I really enjoyed this event. Once we got towards the end, it was a slow burn and people may not be entertained. The tough thing for the discussion I want to have is I thought this was a good test for an athlete with all this together. It wasn't super fun to watch. It was pretty benign. The last 2 rounds were exciting if you wanted to make it exciting. I think if you just sat there and just hated this event, of course you hated this event the whole time just because you're like, but as far as just like, hey, here's your test, go for it. I liked it personally. So I'll let you guys go. I think you could have like moved orders around or done something. I think the only thing I'll take off, and I want to be consistent here, is because you didn't have an end goal. Right? This 2-on, 1-off, these 2-2-2-3 formats, right? These max reps in the time remaining. And we'll see this at Syndicate, is that you have a goal to get to instead of just like drive your face into the ground more than everybody, just be better than everybody. All right. So I'll be consistent. I think I've been taking a 0.1 off that. Any event that's done this format without an end goal. So my 0.1 will be no end goal score.
I think that you're right with that. I agree with the 0.1. I think that this is a training event rather than a race. And the fact of it having 7 sets like this, like if I was a coach and I was programming this, what I'm looking for as the coach is not how fast can you go through all of them. I want to know where your capacity is going to be to where you can hold. Like how close to the line can you ride and then keep that all the way through all of those rounds so we know where to push you. Not to play the game of are you going to go hard on one and go light on the other. I think that I don't maybe I just don't like the pussy strategy on that, and that's what's kind of irritating me about it as far as
I don't think anybody did that format, which we thought people would do.
How many or not many?
I don't think many did.
Well, because I think just like what you said when you opened it up, I think someone said everyone's a hero on the first round.
Yeah, some people were
right.
Superman,
right? And they learned, and they just couldn't hang with that. But I think that what that like it ends up being a training tool rather than being a race, and I think that that's something that
I get it.
If they would have had, and this is saying the exact same thing you said about like knowing where the finish line is,
right?
Because all the finish line is capacity.
Right.
And that's why, I mean, AMRAPs are great in the gym. AMRAPs are great when you're building capacity. AMRAPs are great when you're training. But when you're racing, you got to know where the end is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that misses it on this. I don't think it was a bad event. But I do.
No, like I said, it wasn't the sexiest thing. I mean, Soccer Mom saying it wasn't spectator friendly from the stream. It was a little bit better in person. It did get exciting the last 2 rounds because those are the ones that really mattered. But an end cap here, I can't remember what the girls were getting, but something like 150 for the dudes and I don't know, 80 or 90 for the girls. Whereas like, if you're to get this in 5 rounds, you are a Echo Bike. You're like Echo Bike Jesus. You've been having to hit 30 cals every round. 30 was the most we ever saw in a round, and that was one time. So you knew everybody's going to get it in 60, but not a lot of people even got 150. I mean, Bill Leahy got 146, I think. That was all he got. I don't want to say all he got, but like having an end goal changes the way everybody approaches this. And now you're more engaged. It's like, all right, they're at 70. It's been 3 rounds. Like, okay, they're probably not going to make it, but they may make it in the 6th round. That's their best opportunity. So there's more excitement around that. And it's just a simple fix of spending a little bit more time testing, knowing what the average person's going to get, put it a little out of reach so that they can try to reach for it. That's what we want to see. We want to see people overreach with a goal, not, all right, they're done. Now they just got to sit on the bike for 6 rounds and just be pissed off the whole time because they screwed up round 1.
This would actually be a much better online qualifier event.
Yeah.
Because then you have, I mean, you can do at 1, it's boring to watch. 2, those are the ones where you do want to see, okay, well, let's see how high people can get. Let's see where they can hold out.
Yeah.
But I just
John?
I think it'd be cool to go 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, 200 for the men, 150 for the women. Because that way you got a little bit more bike time and you can play a little bit more games. Like you can be like, I just think it would make people chase a lot more.
Yeah.
chase the rainbow a lot more, if you will. I'm with you guys. I don't mind this event at all. I like this event, but I do agree with you when there is a finishing events like this. If you want to do an event like this in this format, there should be a finish line at the end of it, and I wouldn't even put sets on it. I would put until completion, and you make everybody do it until they're done.
That's all like death by style.
Right, but I mean, they're done.
What you're saying is like there is no time cap. You will.
There is no time cap. You have to do this until you're done.
Is that the classic Dave
great.
Castro takes the watch off?
But
Time
you have
can't
3
save
minutes. Listen, you have 3 minutes to do. But like what I'm thinking, you have 3 minutes. You have bike time. You're gonna get cows. You're gonna be able to do it. It's not 40 fat rope singles and 7 burpee box get off. Nobody's gonna like fail the buy-in to not get cows. You know, you're not out of the competition if you have to skip an entire round. Like if you made it where like the worst people actually just sat out a round to recover, like this is what like, you know, what the worst people in class have going on, right? Like that's I think that's beautiful when you can reduce games athletes or, you know, semifinals athletes to that. I think it's always super, super fun. And then obviously you're going to have like, you know, the crazy bikers that are amazing. And you're like, I don't know how they just did that. Right. But I like the event for what it's worth. But I agree with you guys. It's always better whenever there's a.
Bill, do you have any more on this or just
no?
Nuts and bolts. Hey, simple fix.
No, yeah, it's easy fixes. It's just you know, it's just again, I think it sounds cool, but then it ends up being not tested,
right?
Because it's like it's an easy setup. So.
All right. Where's this? Oh, okay. Day 3. So 3 rounds for time, 15 sandbag squats at 150 and 110, 30 unbroken handstand walk, 30 foot. Round 1, 15 ring muscle ups. Round 2, 30 chest bar pull-ups. Round 3, 45 pull-ups. And then a 30-foot unbroken handstand walk to finish each round. I'll say right off the bat, this is what is one of my favorite ones of the weekend. I think it was excellently programmed for the things that we had done leading into this. This is the needed space. Traditionally, you would see probably the reverse of those middle gymnastic pulls. Round 1, it's 45 pull-ups. Round 2, it's 30. But round 3, it's the 15 ring muscle ups. I think it's changed the way. I think if you do that, you'd see more pacing. Whereas early on, everyone's like, all right, I got to get through the rings. And then they get to the chest bar, like, oh, shit, I'm only doing 5? I'm like, yep. I like this one a lot, personally. Bless you.
We got the sniffles.
You gonna suction that nose, bro. What are you doing? Bill, John, how do you guys think about the event overall?
I liked it. The fact that it went 15, 30, 45 on the gymnastic pool, it allowed people to really get after it and force you to go as unbroken as possible, depending on your ability, especially on the ring muscle up. I think all the athletes, especially the ones that are having any sort of hopes to go into the games, should be able to do all of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, okay, now you get to show your expertise in the gymnastic, and that's, you know, you have the squats in there, cool, but like the handstand walk, and that's going to affect the pressing in your ring muscle ups. But all that pulling and the execution element of this, I think I like it too. I think it was. I would say that this so far is the one that appears to be the most appropriate to the athletes that we're testing. Yeah, I mean it's not heavy on volume. It's not like 30 ring muscle ups and 30 all the way through with some super crazy on the squat. But it's like, okay, now you really have to get working on this. Like the rope climbs weren't enough. Thrusters are light that we've seen so far. So I do like this one. It's not over anxious, but it's a good race, and it ended up being a good race.
Everything was in its place.
I think
the
so.
Squats didn't hurt anybody. It slowed some people down. We saw some change, like on the men's final heat. We saw changes between I think it was EJ Hine. Like he'd always get ahead on the squats just because he's a squat machine, but then he'd fall behind on the gymnastics, and then it would change hands again. There was some of that. Nothing in here overpowered the other. It was just like you said, it looked like a nice, clean race.
Mm-hmm.
John, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm in total. I don't have any problems at all with this one.
Okay.
It's a good gymnastics test.
Right. Which we had heavy Isabel. So now we have our gymnastics test. The idea of the first one being more long distance, or not long distance, longer, not as monostructurally aerobic because it was a lot of pacing. But okay, I got nothing on this one either. So cool. All right. Good job, guys. Whew. we still got to get to the full thing. All right. We got 20 minutes. We're good. All right. This is the finale. 550-meter run into a clean ladder. The men 225, 275, 315. It was 432. The women 155, 185, 215. I almost want to say is the RX version of this. Between RX men, women, elite men, and women, I think the RX women got the toughest version of what this was. Because like their weights, I think it was 155, 175, and 195. And the men was like 225, 255, 275. Like they challenged them with some weights on the RX women's side, which I was like, all right, finally. This is some like heavy barbell cycling workout. We're giving the ladies some like serious weight to sling around. And they did. I thought it was cool, but obviously this made for an exciting finale. Right, by itself. I would have liked to seen one more clean at the end. The 432 just like gets my numbers brain. That said, it did what it needed to do in a vacuum. Bill, what do you think? Did you get to see it?
I just saw.
You watched the women's race. It was very exciting.
Yeah. I actually like what you said about wanting to have one more clean, because you just could have changed the order a little bit. Just went 4, then run, 3, then run, 2, then run, then the final lift to actually be able to come into it. That would have worked. I still
It was just one run, just the buy-in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So you had to sprint to your bar.
And then lift.
Like the clean muscle up clean ladder.
That's right.
I think it was 2015 or 2017.
Right.
I think it's a terrible event.
This one?
Yeah, I think it's really bad.
Was it so? Is it the run that makes it terrible, or the weight?
I don't know why we should have just went 4-3-2. Like the run means nothing. The run was the most irrelevant thing there was.
What was the time?
Nick Matthew and Chris Ibarra basically got there at the same time, and I'm going to tell you this right now: those two are different type of runners. Hannah Black was there. Hannah and Olivia were there within 3 seconds of the fastest runner in their heat. Tell you right now, they're not very fast at running. Like the run was so pointless because your fast runners are running slow because they're not strong. and your strong people just run the same speed that they would run because they are strong. Like this is a really dumb event. If you're trying to test, if you want a clean ladder, do a clean ladder. If you want to have running in it and this be your running workout, you need a 550-meter run, I think, between each round. Mm-hmm. I would do 554 cleans, 553 cleans, 552 cleans. That way there can be separation.
Yeah.
And people who are like, I think you get way more touch and go, and then maybe even touch and go on the last bar from like a lot of people, like from the running people, just because there is that break. But how much do you want to push the envelope on this, right? And I'm saying this is not even having the whole competition in mind, right?
Right.
But it's just that run is so pointless.
You're right.
That it just bothers me so much that it's there. So you can say we ran. Like I don't even know why it's even. I don't know why it's a thing.
Well, the reason why the clean ladder, the 2015, I might get the dates wrong, but the finale where it's 15 ring muscle ups into, I think it was like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 clean ladder.
Right. I remember that one.
John's point is like, if you couldn't lift the weight or you were bad at it, it didn't matter how fast you ran. And if you were good at all the bars, it also didn't matter how fast you ran because you're just going to run through the barbell, right? No one made time up on the run. You're right. But on the muscle up one, if you couldn't do those, it wasn't like running 5 seconds slower in a 500, which is a significant decrease in intensity. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you can't do 15 unbroken ring muscle ups, you're losing 15, 20 seconds.
And on top of that, it makes everybody do the full 15. So if you have 30, that 15 is nothing to you.
Right. You can't jog 15
if you
muscle-ups
have
the same way.
17 to 20, you're hurting after that 15. That 15 was like a lot of energy for you to do. And yes, if you're still strong, it doesn't matter, but you were able to do it. And then you have these weights that you get to do, right?
Yeah.
But you're still hurting. There were a lot of people who failed the last barbell on that clean ladder. Short of Hannah Black, there wasn't much people that failed the last barbell that just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they weren't strong enough.
Correct. Where there were people who just went too fast and missed it back in 2015 when that was. Having the run in this just makes it so icky. And if you wanted a run event, you just make it a run every time. I think the event would have been awesome. And I'm picking Chris Ibarra in that. If it was a run every single time, because then you are pushing the pace. You're doing 4 touch and go at 225 and you're running fast again. And then maybe you slow walk to the 275 and do single power cleans, but then you're still running fast again. And then you're going to real slow walk to 315. And then it makes Nick Matthew be 20 seconds behind you, right? Every single time. And then he would have to touch and go everything without thinking about it. And he can, sure, but it makes so much more of a race component to it.
Yeah.
And then if you're trash at running, you don't deserve to be in the race. This is a 1.0 for me all the way. And it might not bother everybody as much as it bothered me, but I think we just got done with 2 events that were really good. This event bothered me so much. When I read it, I thought it was 3 runs.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know it wasn't 3 runs until I watched on the last heat. You know what I mean? I was I'm fast forwarding and figure out where we are. I'm like, hold on. And I'm like, what? It already is bad. We already know the programming is bad. And then this was like just so bad.
Right.
It was so bad.
To Tristan, I think you mean this in a good way. Saying your second comment. So bias event towards running. Yes.
I don't even think that would bias it towards running, though. I think
it wouldn't bias it, but there'd be more emphasis on the run because it
would matter.
We've had a bike emphasis event, so we've had a monostructural focused one on a machine. This would blend it a little bit more, meaning we don't need another Isabel, which essentially is kind of what this is. Isabel being a bit more technical with the snatch itself. But
but it's the same thing.
A run before each one
would be way better.
But I see that's a 0.5. Like a 1.0 is a nuke of the event. I know John's mad because he just figured out what the event was when he was watching it, expecting to see something different. But I'm not nuking this for that. I will say is like a 0.5 is a big deduction on a single event because it's a poor format. Not a bad event. Or a worthless event.
I'm sticking to my 1.0. You can do what you want.
I don't see this as the same lack of that we saw in Devil Dog 1.0. Because that's what we're saying.
The thing, I am closer to John on this one because the run doesn't matter at all. Like that piece doesn't even need to be there. With that being the case, if we're qualifying people to go to the games and this then turns into some sort of a strength workout, I don't think that 4-3-2 is very difficult. I don't think that really, like, it's not much of a race.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have the majority of your athletes that are going to be able to move the weight pretty damn fine. And so what did I am closer to John on this one.
Well, here, Chase, are you a 0.5 or a 0.1?
He's a 0.5.
I'm a 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a solid 0.5.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say if you're a 0.1, we'll just meet you in the middle.
No,
if
no,
you're
no,
0.5,
no.
then I think
Yeah.
Here, Bill, why don't you pick a number in your head, and then Chase, you and me will guess the number and Bill, write it down so we don't cheat because I know you're on my team. You know, and then 1 through 10, and then closest one is what we'll give it. How about that?
What is the number between what? 1 and 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we saying ours out loud?
Well, after he writes it down.
I wrote it down.
Got it.
Okay. You want to go first, Chase?
2.
Ooh, I mean, I'm just going to price this right. 3.
7.
Look at that.
Of course. I was going 7. I'm like, Bill won't pick 7.
We should have said it together.
Everybody picked 7.
That felt unfair. But we'll still give it a point.
So what is my reason?
You guys, Hannah Black did not fail these cleans because she ran too fast. She failed these cleans because she thought she had the biggest dick in the room and it wasn't quite big enough.
And it wasn't.
If you don't understand that, that's really, really bad.
You've been on the desk too much.
You're too smart. You're too smart for
that. What is it? What is my reasoning?
You lost in the number game.
John. I guess technically, with your definitions, it would be garbage event.
Mm.
Oh, he doesn't like
that. That's the same thing, right?
Okay.
All right. Things we've gone through. We had a single modality, a couplet, a triplet, 3 chippers, 2 of the same format, 1 long, 1 short. 9 gymnastics, 7 weightlifting, 4 monostructural. This is the big one. This is what we'll talk about here. 2 sprint, 3 short, 5 of the 7 events programmed were all under 4 minutes. 2 of those have been nuked by all 3 of us. And
don't put this on me. We're a team.
Yeah.
I said all 3 of us.
I said all 3 of us.
You didn't want to.
I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to. I'm accepting the democratic vote that we just put forth. So, all right. We've got 7 minutes to get there. But up in this point, we've got 2.3 of individual event production or deductions. Okay. Now, John, when we're doing overall where it can't double up a nuking, but you can say it's like, okay, what are the overall biases here? Clearly, it's time domains. Time domains at a degree of which I would say is a 0.5.
Really? That's it?
And I was going to say and I'm being generous.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Actually, no, that's a 1. That's a 1. It's all.
It's not even close. We're sending people to the game.
It's really bad, Chase.
All right. Gosh. All right. You got, yes, it's a 1. Okay. On the area of like people saying too much squatting is like, there's not that much squatting in here. That's like cost effective.
I don't think there's too much.
There's not at all. There's way more leg heavy stuff at Mayhem Classic, and one person said there was too much squatting.
I think people don't squat enough. If we think this is too much,
Like, if we're
squat.
going to shit on people who don't program squatting, and then someone puts in just a decent amount where none of it, like, it's only what 50 thrusters at 115. It's 150 wall ball shot. Like Mayhem did 100-pound feed squats, 75 dumbbell thrusters, heavy lunges. And if you decided to squat, like receiving a squat and a snatch is not a squat movement at all. It's not a leg issue. Cleans a little bit more. There was 2 of them that people might have squatted. And then the 45 sandbag squats at 150, 15 at a time, no problem. I get some people are sore if Matt's still watching. I don't give one there. I don't give one on like pressing. All right. We had pressing, say gymnastics pressing. We had burpees, handstand walks, getting over a box, dip outs on the ring muscle ups. We had a good amount of pulling. I don't see a deficiency in movement patterns selected, and between we could have probably had a more monostructural heavy event, but we did on the bike, but that was used in more of a power output effort than an aerobic capacity effort. Maybe there. But right now I just have time bump mains as the 1.0 as you guys snapped me right back into objective analysis mode. What about you guys? Like, aside from what we already took on individual events.
All the opportunities where they could have done their longer monostructural, they didn't. You have the Cal and the Echo Bike, and like you said, they did it as a power output rather than having them do, whatever, make it 10 rounds of that and then pick whatever amount of calories you want them to do so that they're on the bike for some time and make it a long time frame. Or if they would have done the run where they had the run in between each piece, then you would have at least put that element in there, but they didn't have any of that. The long domain element was wall balls, toes to bar, and the rowing part, which they're not doing anything really with that until the last 25 calories anyway on the row. So you know how like the first output, when everyone looked at this, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's just so much. It's way too robust. Like when you go back and look at it, you're like, God, that was kind of a weak event. Oh, that was a weak event. That one wasn't really very heavy. That one was
I don't think it was
over-programmed.
over-programmed by some of the initial reactions out there.
Yeah. What's weird is that I feel that like almost about half the events aren't really testing games athletes to go to the games. Like, who are the right people to go to the game? I mean, like, okay, the right people went, fine. I get it.
Did the men's field only have 2 previous games athletes and women 1?
Yeah.
2? I guess with Rebecca. Because Cindy hadn't made it before, right? This is her first time?
Cindy McLeish's been to the games before.
Yes? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 3 on the women's side, 2 on the men's? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So all the RX athletes got to play with them
Right.
in the elite division.
Right.
I still got the one for the time domains. I don't really have any other things outside of that because we hit those on the individual side.
True.
I mean, is there anything else you guys can pull out?
It's just the one for the programming. The other than that, the programming altogether, and I mean we understand what I'm saying with that. The bias of the programming. Everything else I don't think was bad at all. I think honestly, like the competition, the way it's put on and all that stuff, I think was great. But
the event was great. There on site and how it was ran is great.
I'm gonna hop off. I gotta put her down, and I think I'm gonna be on Peter's show, so I gotta kind of
nice. Good luck.
Oh, good luck, man.
Yeah, we'll hop off here so Peter can do it. Thank you, John.
Okay,
Later, buddy.
Right. So overall comp, I just have the 1.0.
The 1, I'm fine with that.
So that's a 3.3. So that's a 6.7, and that is in my day that was an F. But this is an F plus.
That's a D plus.
Oh, D's, right. Sorry, D's. Is that right?
Yeah, because 70s are C's.
Oh, yeah, 70s are C's.
6s are
Okay,
D's.
D plus. Look, 6.7, D plus. We've had worse. We've had worse.
I think that was probably the most the crazy swings we've seen, where it's like, yeah, good, shit, yeah, good, all right, shit.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a all right. It was
Yeah.
just like, okay, you did really well on this.
Yeah.
Or like,
Someone Nicolation's been there twice before. Shit. She better start doing something while she's there. I don't even remember that. I say that as somebody who doesn't go. So, what am I talking about? All right, Beck, thanks. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, this was by far the best run TFX event they've had in years.
That's cool.
Right? It really was. The setup was awesome. The field was awesome. The venue was awesome. They had a broadcast. I mean, what they put together in a very short amount of time. And as far as TFX programming goes, this is actually on the better side of it we've had in years past. So good job. Hey, D plus. I know everybody wants more. That's what you guys got. You're still a 6.7. This can get negative.
Still love you guys. Still love you guys.
Love you guys. I was appreciated. So we'll hop off here. Bill's got to go coach. Pedro's show is about to start. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you later this week.